So here's something I wanted to point out, and it drives me berserk when I see people do it. Electric guns, air impact guns, I love them. This little gun right here, this Milwaukee Fuel, I got 3 electric snap-on guns. I'll take this thing any day. This thing puts out so much torque that you literally got to be careful because you'll break the bolt. One of my pet peeves is when I watch people put together engines and transmissions. A little bit of my background. Okay, let's just shorten it up. I've been working on motors, trannies, lawnmowers, snow blowers, whatever it is, since I was probably 8 years old. Going through college, worked as a mechanic, worked my way up, master ASE certified, multi-master ASE certified. I did all that while I was going through medical school, so everybody calls me the Florida car doc. That's why. I am a licensed doctor, and I work on everybody's cars as well. I own this place, but I come here and I have fun fixing stuff up. But, get off on a tangent. It drives me nuts when I watch people blast engine parts or tranny parts in with an electric or air impact gun. You don't know the torque you're putting it on. So I always run it down until I hear it just kind of give that first click. I stop, then I always go back and I manually tighten them down. These are small 10mm bolts going into an aluminum housing. It is so easy to snap one, to break the threads. Something so simple, well, if you mess up, it'll cost you hours of labor later on, and the customer ain't gonna pay for it.
Good tip, car doc. Not too much torque. Very strong.
Love Milwaukee. Get rid of all the snap-ons. I got $3,000 worth of snap-on guns in there. The Milwaukees beat them hands down every day.
I don't think your snap-on guy's gonna like to hear that.
Did he leave already? I want to make sure he's not here.
He's gone.
But at least he gave me a free battery, so that was good.
Okay, so the bolts go in first.
Bolts go in first when you're doing it in the car, because you're never going to be able to get them in unless you drill holes in your frame.
You don't want to drill holes in the frame.
Makes it a little bit more of a challenge, kind of fumbling with the head and the bolts hanging out there. When you got helpers, nothing is impossible. Alright, so...
Head's going in.
Head's going in. You're going to have to position that head gasket better.
A little tricky with the bolts.
On the front dowel. There we go. Alright, you're going to have to put the camera down so you can move these bolts out.
Alright, see you in a little bit. Alright, looks like the head's in. Well, they're not paying us any money, but what kind of tool do you have there?
Another Milwaukee. Good old Milwaukee. Trusted by me more than anything else. Where'd you put that adapter?
So what's the next step?
We're going to torque these down. I'm going to look it up because Subarus have a terrible torque sequence. I know for a fact, it's been a while since I did one. You're going to torque it to a certain foot-pounds in a sequence. Then you're going to go 90 degrees, and I believe you go another 45, and then you have to back off 180, and then you're going to go like another 90 and another 90, but we'll get to that. They are brand new bolts. Don't ever reuse old head bolts. If you do, you're a knucklehead.
Don't want to be a knucklehead. Brand new bolts.
Okay, I'm finally on it.
Alright, Craig, you're doing now torquing down the head bolts, and as you said, it is quite involved. I looked it up. I found a really good resource on uniquemotorsports.com. We'll give them some free advertising. So the next one is going to be letter E, and that's bottom front. That's going to be 22 foot-pounds. He's already done A, B, C, D. He's working on E now. He's a torque wrench. And now we're going to bottom top. Back top. That's right. Back top. That's 22 foot-pounds.
The left and right one. The left right. Or the right left.
Okay, now we're going to do, that was step 1. Step 2 is tighten all bolts to 51 foot-pounds in alphabetical sequence. So he's setting his torque wrench to 51 pounds. And we're going to go in alphabetical sequence. And I like this website because it gives you the chart. A is middle top. That's 51 pounds.
Middle bottom, right?
And then middle bottom is letter B. He's putting 51 pounds on all of them in order. So yeah, guys, you can Google this all over the place, but I like this one, uniquemotorsports.com. It's got the whole sequence. When we're done, we'll be right back with you guys. All right, Craig. So the head's in.
Head's in. Something I forgot to do earlier, which I should have, is just check the cold valve clearances. And looking up at the tag, I could be from 0.16 to 0.24. I kind of guessed in the middle and tried to 0.2, which didn't work. The 0.6 actually works and goes in. So we're on the low end of acceptable. And if that's good, I'm going to assume the exhausts are good because I really can't get down there right now. We can, obviously on exhaust it gets hotter, so you want more of a gap. They allow us 0.21 to 0.29. I'll try, let's go stay on the low end. We'll do a 2.1. Can just squeeze a 0.21 in there. I can go on each one and I can feel that I can equally bounce them all up and down equally. Same amounts of play. I'll back this a little bit. You can see the amount of play I have there. So that's the 0.16 on the intakes, and it's equal the whole way around. Gotta do that. If you're a little bit too loose, the engine taps. A little bit too tight, as the engine warms up and heat expands, the valve's not going to seat all the way, and then you're going to start misfiring and having all kinds of other problems. So, good thing on Subarus is they allow you to adjust them.
All right, adjustable valves. All right, so next is the valve covers. And we got to do new seals for the valve covers. We got a few different options here. Again, this is all the new and improved stuff that we ordered online. So we're going to replace these valve cover gaskets, and we'll be right back to mount this valve cover. All right, what's now in the goodie box?
The air intake, this piece. Got to put that back on the head, so just matching up all the gaskets, making sure everything is correct. We'll use these two. Put this back on once I find the bolts. underneath your water inlet pipe there to kind of slide this down onto, so hopefully it actually stays there. Of course it doesn't want to slide on right now.
There's that pin right there.
There we go, there's one. Put another pin back here. Stay relatively where we want it.
I noticed how much thicker these gaskets are than the ones that the car had.
No, these are actually the same.
I'm an idiot. Don't agree with that.
What'd you say?
As you can see, there's a new gasket for the valve cover. It's all put in.
And don't forget these. You ever take out a spark plug and wonder why it's covered in oil? These are no good. It takes 2 seconds to change them.
And they came in that kit.
They came in the kit. Alright, so I kind of got everything roughly disconnected. I mean, I didn't want to remove the entire intake. There's so many hoses and gas lines and everything else, so I loosened the driver's side, obviously took everything off on the passenger side. Enough that you could see how much play I got. So it's plenty enough for me to slink this in here and actually feed the studs in. So there, the 2 studs went in. I'm just going to let it rest there for a second because I got to now find all my bolts. I could already see through the holes. Everything lines up good. Of course, I took the fuel injectors out.
I saw the fuel injectors in the trunk.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna leave at 6.
You're going to leave at 6?
Yeah, I'm leaving at 6.
So does that mean,
Right now, yeah.
does that mean I owe you money?
No, not really. Well, he paid me $20 already, so.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Alright.
I don't want to make him mad. Look at his muscles. Get a picture of his muscles. Come on, second picture. I already did it. You got mad once. It was a scary sight. Alright, so there's the 4 long 12s. Of course, all the rest are 10s. I still got to get the injectors in.
Our little storage warehouse is the trunk.
Oh yeah, you got some painkillers, bring them.
Are you asking for painkillers?
Alright.
This is our junkyard dog.
Hey, Craig wants to know if you got another soft sauce.
I already spoke to him about it.
Oh, you didn't talk to him yesterday? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You go to the office. Okay, alright. Alright, Bobby. Alright, see when you get here. It's 5 o'clock already?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Wow. Alright, no problem. I'll see when you get
That
here.
ruins our video.
It's been a long day in the sun.
Damn, it is 5
Hey
o'clock.
Ricky, show us that little birthmark on your hand that you got last week.
Looked like a mouth. It was long. I didn't know that.
Man,
I didn't
that
know when I
was
went out here.
Long and deep.
Yeah.
So, who fixed it?
He cut me.
He cut
It's
you?
his fault. Yeah, he's on there playing with the knife.
Well, no, I wasn't playing with the knife. This guy wants to get paid for a full week. Every time I go back there, he's hiding. So
no.
I got
might
mad.
be
Had to
back
deal
there-
with him.
I might be there smoking on my bowl, but I ain't been hiding.
Can't say that on a video. This
Who
is, you know,
cares?
what if kids watch this?
Hey, you might as well see the truth in life, right? Right? Might as well show the real life.
We're an equal opportunity employer. We employ smart and
Are you vaping?
Yeah, you call vaping if you want. Oh, you like it. You should like it, dude. It's good for you.
all right. 12s are tight.
Oh, so you doing all this on video now?
Yeah, we'll kind of cut it all up later on.
Cut the car?
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
Craig, what's the latest on the Subaru?
Head's on, torqued. Intake's on, torqued. Timing belt's on. Made sure I remember to pull the pin on the tensioner. which
Anything
I did.
special about these timing belts on Subarus?
They're pieces of cake. The only thing that I've always found makes it easier is the bottom sprocket here. I leave it out because it's very difficult to stretch it to get it to go onto the cog here. And once it's on that cog, there's enough slack on the bottom that you can literally just take that pulley, because it has a ridge in the back. You have to kind of put it behind the belt, lift it up, and thread the bolt and tighten it down, and you're done. Pull the pin, and I already double checked it. Everything's lined up perfect. So just almost getting ready to call it. We got a lot done today. I might just do a couple more things.
All right, so all this left is to put all the coolant system back in.
Well, I mean, power steering and
And-
everything else. So, I mean, there's still more. My way around it. Good thing is my pile of bolts is getting smaller and smaller.
All right, so it's been a good productive day, and we will finish up the Subaru the next couple days, and we'll post all the results here. And then, so tell our viewers what's next on the list. What card are we going to jump on next?
We're going to be doing that LS conversion on the 87 C10. Motor trannies, we did that this morning. Built everything, put it all together, Trailblazer torque converter. So that is going to get mock fitted in there, make sure everything clears. And we'll probably tack weld some exhaust up. And that's probably about it on that. I'm hoping that everything goes real smooth with that it's literally just like the manufacturer says, that the motor mounts allow for it to just literally slide right onto the frame rails with a 5.3 AC compressor. And if that all works out good, then we're golden. We'll put the harness on it, and of course we got to get the adapters for oil pressure and cooling. Yeah, no big deal.
All right, so this is the car dock, and we'll be back here to finish up the Subaru and continue on the next video for the LS conversion on an old pickup truck.
All right, here we are. Actually, it's not even still the same day. Unfortunately, I've been held up. I'm gonna turn around. Of course, we've been working on the Subaru project. So while I'm waiting on my buddy to finish up his front brakes in here, I wound up, put the whole front back together. So put the power steering in, alternator, put all the belts on, timing belt, all that's in. Put a little fresh battery in there, topped off the coolant, wound up changing the oil. Everything went together nice and easy. Actually, no extra bolts, which is good. I'm going to turn the key. Don't expect anything out of the ordinary. So I'm going to take you with me to the inside of the car, and then I'll come back out. All right, here we go. 06 Subaru Legacy. Replace the cylinder head for a broken camshaft. She starts right up. Hums like a kitten. No lights. Nice and smooth. Air is still on it. It's actually ice cold. It's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to keep this car. Let me come back out here. You know, we come across, you know, we buy between 150, 200 cars a month. And this one was actually a clean title. They ran it through the auction even though it was running on 3 cylinders. And one of the reasons why I figured I'm going to fix it is it's got a brand new rack and pinion. It's got brand new hoses. I didn't even have to buy a new timing kit. The entire timing belt, tensioner, pulleys, all brand new. Nice spark plugs. Someone replaced the ignition wires already. So someone put a lot of care into this car and kept it in really, really good shape. The inside's nice and clean, and like I said in the beginning, 88,000 miles. So that kind of concludes this section. So just to kind of recap, we had to replace the passenger side cylinder head because it actually cracked the camshaft in half. Wiped out the journals in the head. Wound up getting a junkyard head. I didn't even pressure test it or anything. I just kind of visually observed everything. The valves looked good. Everything looked good. I did a quick surfacing on it with some 800 grit paper on a long bar with some oil. Got it nice and true. And you can see, I mean, it runs smooth as glass. I'm going to let it run for a little bit, get the coolant circulating, put the heat on. And that's it. That ends this one. And of course, while it was sitting here, some dummy cracked my mirror off. But you can see, other than that, pretty clean car, aluminum wheels. Once you wash it, the paint's actually pretty good. All right, I'm out of here.